One of the best moments of my senior year was winning the worm dig contest at the pep rally for the 3rd year in a row. With pudding in my eyes and in my hair, it stayed there for days. But that's the price of victory.
The best moment of senior year would definitely have to be the first Frisbee tournament we went to this year in Kentucky. We ended up winning the whole tournament. We went 7-0, and I think it really kind of catapulted our season this year, and I think we've had an amazing season just because of that first moment when we won that first tournament.
My favorite moment about senior year was the pep rally and all of Spirit Week because I feel like it brought the class closer together as a whole. And it was just a really fun experience with the people I'd spent 4 years with.
Okay, so the best part of my senior year is actually at the Tennessee Valley Fair. I got to build an 8-foot tall Lego structure of the Power T, and so that was really cool. It took me 2 years to do it. I started when I was a sophomore and I finished it this year. I got to shake hands with the president of the University of Tennessee. It was a really cool experience.
One of the best moments of senior year was at open mic night when we imitated the teachers and played Family Feud.
I'd have to say the best moment of senior year was STEM Around the World Day. I think a lot of people underestimated us, and it was cool to see all the seniors come together, decorate the school so well, and have such a successful fundraiser.
Okay, so my favorite moment for senior year is when we got after the first week, they finally let us leave campus, right? So then we all realized that we could leave school and get food from, wherever, so that was pretty sweet.
The best moment of senior year was in January when the swim team won city. That was a moment that I will always remember, and it was just so exciting to be celebrating with all of my friends after I swam one of my best races ever.
I think the best moment of my senior year was going to Sharp Top Cove with Young Life and getting to meet a lot of new people and connect with them in a different way. I hadn't really had the opportunity to do that before in school, and I think that was just a big takeaway that I'll have for this year.
The thing that I'm going to miss most about the L&N Civic Academy is all the stairs I've had to walk up. It's kind of memorable losing my breath at the top of every time I try to get to a class.
Okay, so the thing I miss most about STEM in general in our senior year is just the sense of family that we had, where everyone knows everyone and everyone loves everyone. Even if we fight, everyone's still gonna miss each other because we're a family and we're all siblings pretty much, and I just love that about STEM.
The thing I'm going to miss the most about STEM is its uniqueness. It's been a really unique environment to grow and learn in, and no other school in Knoxville has had the opportunities that we've had, and I'm just really thankful for that.
The thing that I will miss most about STEM is probably the people, because I gained so close of connections to all the people here.
The thing I'm going to miss most about STEM is the community. I feel like a lot of people came here because they didn't really fit in at their middle schools and didn't want to go with those people to their high schools. And so here we just became really close, and it's a really unique mix of people, but I really have enjoyed spending 4 years with them.
I'm going to miss squad.
Okay, I think one of the best things about STEM is just its location. Being right here in downtown, we get to go all over the place, go to Market Square. We went to Hodges at UT, especially with AP Combined. And it's just been really an amazing experience to get to know the city from within.
The most iconic part about STEM is probably all the types of people here. It's basically a regular high school, but with nerd at the end of every stereotype. So we got jock nerds, goth nerds, nerd nerds, just those different types of people, and that's what makes STEM kind of great.
So I think the one thing that's most iconic about our school is just the fact that we have such a diverse atmosphere to where I could come in and talk to anybody, and so I really like that about our school, and it's so welcoming and so inviting, and so I feel like it's been home for 4 years.
Probably how we have come so far in such short amount of time. The schools have been only open for 5 years, and yet we've already made a huge impact on our community with our test scores, with our location, and just our wonderful student body.
A song that represent us, our senior year, I would have to say Young, Wild and Free by Wiz Khalifa featuring Snoop Dogg.
The Lazy Song by Bruno Mars.
One song would be Brother by Need to Breathe.
0 to 100 real quick by Drake.
Top of the World by Imagine Dragons.
Stressed Out by 21 Pilots.
White Nerdy by Weird Al.
One song I would use to describe senior year is Bye Bye Bye.
The weirdest in-class discussion that I've ever had with a substitute teacher was talking about the mathematical symbolism behind Alice in Wonderland and talking about conspiracy theories with Catholicism.
In English class, and Chasen was, of course, being Chasen, and he asked what was, like, how men were dominant over women back then, and how he would behead someone's wife if they had decided to cheat on him with his best friend. He'd behead her and keep his friend, and it was pretty strange because Miss Brown looked at him with the look she always gives him, like, come on, Chasen.
I think one thing that I wish I had done differently in high school is I wish at times that I'd been able to slow down and really take moments in. I feel like sometimes we get so engulfed with our work and other things that we don't take the time to appreciate the awesome friends that we have here, just spending those Friday nights at Market Square and not worrying about the homework or the assignments you have to do, slowing it down to really appreciate the high school experience.
If I could have done one thing differently in high school, it would have been coming out of my shell sooner. In the past 2 years, I've made a lot of friends, and the only thing that I really regret is not meeting them sooner, and I'm really gonna miss them.
So one thing I would have done differently in high school was probably start dancing sooner.
One thing I wish I had done differently is talk more.
Okay, so in 15 years, I'll be what, like 30 something, 40 something? I don't know, I'm not a math. But I will be Pocahontas at Disney World. And you can find me, and I will give your kid a hug, and I'll be like,
Where do I see myself in 15 years? Well, I see myself around the age of 30 with a fedora, still dancing, hopefully have a wife and a job, preferably in the engineering departments.
I'd say the one thing I'm most excited for in moving on is moving to a different city and actually going to some real football games.
The most exciting thing I am looking forward to in the future is the journey. People are always concerned about going from point A to point B, but this school has prepared me to appreciate the journey that it takes to get to that point B. And my plan to further my education and to do what I love, that is probably the thing that I'm most excited for, and this school has prepared me to fulfill that dream.
Okay, so one thing I'm excited for the future is that, of course, going to college, but seeing all of you in 10 years at the 10th year anniversary of the 2016 graduation class.
I look forward to trying to become my dream job of either being a psychiatric physician assistant or becoming an architect.
I think the thing I'm most excited for looking towards the future is kind of finding that thing that I'm really passionate about and going after that, and then being able to see where everyone else kind of follows and knowing what they were like here at STEM and then seeing where they end up. I think it'll be really interesting to see where everyone ends up and the different paths they follow.
I've explored a ton of different areas, including architecture and engineering, and now I've kind of figured out what I want to do in speech pathology. So STEM has helped me a lot, and now I can move forward with that information.
What I'm most excited about after high school is moving on and getting away from my base maybe, and just having different experiences that make me a better person and more knowledgeable about the rest of the world.
After high school, I'm most looking forward to the freedom I'm going to have in college. Definitely playing water polo at the University of Alabama in Huntsville.
I'm most excited to experience life in a big city as I go on to college in DC.
Well, and I guess the last thing that I would like to get across is something that I always jokingly say, and that's that there are far too many rude people in the world already, and they're far too common, so don't become one of them.
My final words I would have to say is, at the end of the day, we're still a family. No matter how far you are or how close you are, if your clique splits up or y'all still together, we still got each other's backs.
My final words to Ellen and STEM Academy would just be to say thank you for the past 4 years. I wouldn't change a single thing about my high school career, and I can definitely say that I was very blessed to have this opportunity to come here. So I would just like to say thank you to all my teachers, fellow classmates, and especially parents.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, 'cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. I only see my goals, I don't believe in failure, 'cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major. I got my boys with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told. I was writing about everything I saw before me. Once I was 20 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old. I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still sorry. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. You'll never know quite when, well, then again it just depends on how long the time is left for you. I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest river. You can have it all, but now keep moving. I'll take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, tried to take the easy way. I kept on falling short of something. I could've gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. I take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world.